The Speaker recognizes Representative Kniezek.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in opposition to the initiative petition before us today. You know, it wasn't too long ago that we were standing here listening to the majority's argument that we should overhaul the Michigan Court of Claims due to the fact that the judges who serve on that court are selected by 3% of Michigan's population. Yet here we stand again today, prepared to drastically alter the way in which Michigan women gain access to the health care that they need during some of the most difficult times of their lives. Thanks to the signatures of, you guessed it, 3% of the state's population. The hypocrisy, if not for the severity of this issue, is laughable. There is no question that the issue of women's reproductive health is incredibly divisive. Passionate beliefs are held across the political spectrum, but the issue before us today, interference in the private insurance market while forcing women to spend even more money for services that have always been provided, has been found to be so extreme that Democrats and Republicans in Michigan have frequently united to oppose this issue. Governor Engler vetoed this legislation. Governor Snyder vetoed this legislation. Between 60 and 70% of Michigan residents oppose this legislation, but that's just not enough for the special interests in our state. As the youngest member of the Democratic caucus, I find it necessary to rise in support of the young women and young girls who don't have a voice in this chamber today. Restricting a woman's access to abortion services in the case of rape and incest is an abhorrent assault on women's rights in this state. I want everyone in this chamber to stop for 1 second to think about their wives, their sisters, their daughters, their friends, and their coworkers. If they were raped, if they were the victim of incest, if they were having a miscarriage that put their own lives in danger, what would you want? Would you want to make their access to medical assistance and basic reproductive health care easier, or would you have hoped that they could have foresaw that rape, that they could have foresaw that incest, or any other life-threatening complication months in advance and had bought that additional insurance during their open enrollment period? I'd venture to say that you would want them to be happy, that you would want them to be healthy, and that you would want them to be alive. If you feel that way, I encourage you to allow the citizens of the state of Michigan to have a final say in this measure. Give a voice to your wife. Give a voice to your sister. Give a voice to your daughters. With issues as divisive as these, it is beyond reasonable to allow the citizens of Michigan to decide. Just imagine for 1 second if this was a bill to restrict a man's access to a vasectomy or any other medical services. There would be no debate, there would be no discussion, because that bill would never make it to the floor of the House of Representatives. The people of the state of Michigan should have the final say in this issue. The alternative is allowing this chamber, a chamber comprised of 80% men, to tell 100% of the women in this state what they can and cannot do with their bodies. Madam Speaker, that is something I cannot support, and I encourage a no vote on this initiative petition. Thank you.